Hello, fellow gamers and game fans. I'm 89 Games, and today I'm talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on the Nintendo Switch. More specifically, if you, yes, you, can jump into the Xenoblade Chronicles series at this point, having never played any of the previous titles, and whether the gameplay will appeal to you. So, can you jump in at this point in the series? Let's answer that first. And let me just preface my answers with the fact that I myself have never played a Xenoblade game before Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I have looked at the previous titles in the past and considered jumping in, but just wasn't sure if I'd be able to get into them. So to answer the first question, yes, you can absolutely jump in at this point and not feel lost or like you're missing anything. I'm about 15 hours in at this point, and I've been able to follow the story without issue. It's quite possible that there are some things that, had I played previous titles in the series, might have stood out to me, but nothing so far has left me scratching my head. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has done a good job of having a standalone story, and a pretty good one at that. The answer to the second question, whether the gameplay appeals to you, will really depend on your personal preference. But let me take a few moments to give you my experience and talk about the gameplay for a minute to help you answer that question. The combat was honestly my biggest concern going in, and one of the reasons I was hesitant to jump into the series in the past. An auto attack system just sounds lame and boring. But I somewhat knew what to expect going in and decided to give it a fair chance. The result? It's not bad. Good, even. Yes, your character auto-attacks, but you decide when and where to use your skills, or arts as the game calls them. Each of these arts have different uses and effects that affect your strategy. Some arts will do extra damage based on your positioning around the enemy, like being to their side or behind them. Others will do more damage when an enemy is affected by a certain status, and others still deliver those statuses. You are also able to freely switch between characters in and out of combat, which helps keep everything interesting as well. Eventually you learn chain attacks, which are almost like a resource management minigame, where you choose which characters to use in what order to deliver massive damage and bonus effects to the enemy. I'm still learning that one, but I'm enjoying the concept. Overall, I've been surprised by how much I'm actually enjoying the combat. If you think about it for a second, it really isn't all that different from a lot of CRPGs with real-time combat with pause. Minus the pause, of course. Or something like Dragon Age Origin. In a lot of those games, you essentially have the same thing with auto attacks that happen until you choose a skill, which you then try to chain with other skills to produce unique effects or more damage. I enjoyed those experiences, and I guess that's one reason why I've enjoyed the combat in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 so far. The next area that I consider when jumping into a large RPG like this one is the world and exploration. Is the world worth exploring? Will I enjoy trekking from one side of the world to the other, or is it just a chore I need to do to advance the story? In the case of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the world is beautiful, fun to explore, and the game doesn't punish you for exploring by eating up your time with pointless battles. A lot of the enemies are passive and will not engage first, and the ones that are aggressive can still be avoided if you don't get too close. Exploring yields a lot of resources and collectibles as well that can be used in crafting or completing different quests, and also allows you to find elite and legendary enemies, which are essentially field bosses that you can take on for higher tier loot and extra XP. Furthermore, the vistas themselves are beautiful and varied, and it's fun just to see what sights are around the next corner. Unfortunately, the graphics are limited by the Switch's hardware, but they still look good. Just not as good as they could have been with just a little more graphics power. All in all though, I really did like the exploration, and I don't find myself rushing through each area to advance the story. Finally, we have the character progression, which is based on leveling up each character and each class to expand their available abilities during combat, along with raising their overall level to increase their slots available for abilities, skills, and accessories. While this type of system isn't necessarily anything new, it's fairly new to me as I haven't played many games that use this type of system. But I have to say that it is growing on me. Trying to level up each character and each class provides a nice kind of mini goal while leveling up overall, and being able to mix and match skills and arts learned from other classes provides a lot of different build opportunities. Rather than customizing one character to my playstyle, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 allows me to customize my whole team to it as one well-oiled unit. So to reiterate one more time, yes, you can absolutely pick up Xenoblade Chronicles 3 without having played the other games. If that's what's stopping you from trying it, go pick it up now. If you're not sure whether you'll like the gameplay, well, all I can say is give it a chance. The gameplay is solid, and it works well. It just really depends if you like the systems that the game uses. I didn't think I'd enjoy the systems, but after giving them a chance, I do like them. They work well here. So maybe it's time to try something new, especially if you're stuck in a gaming rut. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is going to be a long game from the looks of it, but I will have a full review once I've been able to complete the game. If you don't want to miss that, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you can be notified when that is posted. If you enjoyed this video, please smack that like button, it's much appreciated. Finally, let me know what you think about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and if you'll be picking it up. If you'd like to see more of my content, you can watch this video here, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and keep on gaming.